The Cossacks by Leo Tolstoy. The Cossacks is a novel that tells the story of Dmitry Olenin, a young, disillusioned aristocrat from Moscow who seeks purpose and a fresh start among the Cossack community in the Caucasus. In the rugged and untamed landscape, Olenin becomes enamored with the Cossack way of life, their connection to nature, and a Cossack girl named Maryanka. As he integrates into the community, he grapples with themes of love, identity, and cultural contrast. The novel explores Olenin's inner transformation and his search for authenticity and meaning, ultimately revealing his outsider status and unrequited love. Let's deep dive into the book. Dmitry Olenin's departure. Disenchanted with his privileged yet empty life in Moscow, Dmitry Olenin seeks a profound change, hoping to find purpose and authenticity. He decides to abandon the superficialities of urban aristocratic society, joining the Russian army as a cadet. Assigned to a remote post in the Caucasus, Olenin looks forward to escaping the societal constraints that have left him feeling unfulfilled. His journey represents not only a physical relocation, but also an attempt at personal reinvention and spiritual renewal. Arrival in the Caucasus. Upon his arrival in the Caucasus, Olenin is immediately struck by the stark contrast between the natural beauty and the ruggedness of the region. The majestic landscapes and the simple lifestyle of the local Cossacks present a stark departure from the opulence and artifice of Moscow. Olenin is lodged with a Cossack family, providing him with a first-hand experience of their community-oriented way of life. This initial immersion is eye-opening and sets the foundation for his growing fascination with the Cossack culture. Adapting to Cossack life. As Olenin settles into his new environment, he begins to adapt to the rhythms and customs of Cossack life. He is intrigued by their deep connection to the land and their straightforward social interactions, which are devoid of the pretenses he so despised in Moscow. Olenin starts to dress like the Cossacks, learn their language, and participate in their daily activities, drawing him ever closer to a lifestyle that he perceives as more genuine and fulfilling than his previous existence. Maryanka and Lukashka. Olenin becomes enamored with Maryanka, a strong and independent Cossack woman whose beauty and confident demeanor captivate him. However, Maryanka is already betrothed to Lukashka, a celebrated local hero known for his bravery and skill in battle. This complicated emotional triangle deepens as Olenin's feelings for Maryanka grow, placing him at odds with his respect for Lukashka's accomplishments and standing within the community. Lukashka's heroics. Lukashka's reputation soars after he successfully ambushes and kills a notorious Chechen bandit, an act that not only secures his position as a village hero, but also earns him the official commendation and a promotion. His increasing status within the village cements his engagement to Maryanka, making Olenin's aspirations seem increasingly unrealistic. This event highlights the stark differences between Olenin's romantic idealism and the harsh realities of life on the frontier. Olenin's internal struggle. Olenin grapples with his internal conflicts as his infatuation with the Cossack lifestyle and Maryanka intensifies. He experiences a profound identity crisis, questioning his former life, values, and his very essence. Olenin's romantic notions are challenged by the complexities of integrating into a culture that is fundamentally different from his own, and he struggles to reconcile his idealized views with the practicalities and inherent contradictions of his new life. Cultural and personal conflicts. The more Olenin attempts to assimilate into the Cossack community, the more he confronts barriers. His romanticized view of Cossack life clashes with the community's view of him as an outsider. Despite his efforts, he remains distanced by his background and the impermeable cultural divides. His pursuit of Maryanka also puts him at odds with local customs and traditions, exposing the limitations of his understanding and acceptance within the village. Rejection and realization. Olenin's quest to win Maryanka's love comes to a head as he confronts the futility of his efforts. Despite his deep affection and genuine intentions, Maryanka remains emotionally unavailable to him, fully committed to Lukashka. This rejection is a harsh awakening for Olenin, shattering his idealized perception of life among the Cossacks and forcing him to acknowledge the unbridgeable gap between his dreams and reality. Lukashka's departure and Maryanka's decision. Following another military engagement, Lukashka decides to leave the village to pursue further glory, aiming to return with even greater honors. Maryanka faces a dilemma, torn between her loyalty to Lukashka and the stability he represents, and the emotional impact of Olenin's unrelenting adoration. Ultimately, she reaffirms her commitment to Lukashka, choosing traditional values and community expectations over the uncertain promises of a love with Olenin. Olenin's departure from the Caucasus. A transformed yet disillusioned Olenin leaves the Caucasus, deeply impacted by his experiences. The lessons he has learned about life, love, and the limits of cultural integration are profound, yet they leave him with a sense of unfulfillment and solitude. His departure marks the end of a journey that was as much about self-discovery as it was about escape. Olenin returns to Russian society with a new understanding of his place in the world, still searching for a true sense of belonging and purpose. Let's explore together the main themes and concepts of the book. Search for identity. The Cossacks delves deeply into the theme of identity through the protagonist Dmitry Olenin's journey from disillusioned aristocrat to aspiring Cossack. Olenin's move to the Caucasus represents a quest to redefine himself away from the superficiality of Russian high society. His struggle to assimilate into Cossack culture and his ultimate failure highlight the complexities of identity formation, which is influenced by both personal aspirations and the rigid expectations of society. Tolstoy uses Olenin's experiences to explore how one's search for a genuine self often conflicts with cultural and societal norms. Clash of cultures. Tolstoy vividly portrays the clash between Russian and Cossack cultures, emphasizing their distinct worldviews, values, and social structures. Olenin is drawn to the perceived authenticity and simplicity of the Cossack way of life, which contrasts sharply with his experiences in Russian aristocratic circles. This theme explores the romanticization of the noble savage and the inevitable disillusionment that follows the realization of the complexity and inaccessibility of a culture markedly different from one's own. The narrative probes the limits of cultural integration and the often romanticized but misunderstood allure of abandoning one's cultural heritage for another. Nature and human connection. The novel places a significant emphasis on the relationship between humans and nature. The Caucasus serves as a backdrop that influences the characters profoundly, with its untamed beauty and harshness mirroring the inner turmoil and conflicts of the characters. Tolstoy suggests that a deeper connection with nature can lead to a more authentic existence, as seen through Olenin's initial peace and happiness in the natural surroundings. This theme highlights the restorative and clarifying power of nature, which stands in stark contrast to the corrupting influence of society. Love and infatuation. Through Olenin's infatuation with Maryanka, Tolstoy explores the complexities of love, desire, and the pain of unrequited feelings. Olenin's love for Maryanka is depicted not only as a personal affection, but also as an idealization of the Cossack life she represents. This theme examines the blinding nature of infatuation and the eventual realization of its unsustainability when it collides with unalterable cultural and personal realities. It also reflects on how individuals often project their desires and dreams onto others, leading to inevitable disillusionment. Escapism and disillusionment. Olenin's journey is initially fueled by a desire to escape the ennui and decadence of his previous life, seeking meaning and authenticity in a simpler culture. However, the theme of disillusionment unfolds as he confronts the realities of the Cossack lifestyle and his outsider status within it. Tolstoy critiques the notion of escapism by demonstrating that true change must come from within, and that changing one's surroundings does not necessarily lead to inner peace or a new identity. This theme is central to understanding the psychological depth of Olenin's character and his ultimate failure to find what he truly seeks. Let's talk about the author. Leo Tolstoy was a Russian author renowned for his epic novels War and Peace and Anna Karenina, which are considered masterpieces of world literature. Born into an aristocratic family, Tolstoy's early works focused on his experiences in the Crimean War and his travels. He later delved into philosophical and religious writings, developing a unique moralistic perspective that emphasized nonviolent resistance and the search for spiritual truth. Tolstoy's ideas on social reform and his critique of institutional religion influenced notable figures like Mahatma Gandhi. His literary and philosophical contributions continue to be studied and celebrated worldwide. Sincere thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, consider taking a moment to hit the subscribe button, like or share the video. If you have any feedbacks or book requests, make sure to leave a comment. Regardless, I wish you a great day.